So, you've decided? I ask uncertainly. We have, responds Taylor, his emerald green eyes set and serious. And your decision is? Well, we decided... He shifts his position in the love seat, beside Toon. We decided on merklets, he said, raising a merklet from his lap to coo into his face. I'm glad the ship's most controversial issue ever is finally resolved, I mock dryly. We had an all-night discussion, the crew gave us some great suggestions, but merklets was the clear winner. I was surprised. Might better have been a merkittens. Merkits was very popular, looked like it might take the lead for a minute there. Merc Pops was another that people were tepid on. Other suggestions were Fluff Kits, Merc Peeps, Merkies, Dust Kits, Fluffettes, Merc Bites, Merquats, Mittens, Merc Cubs, / Merc Cubs, Nuglets, Merc Nuggets, very popular, Cuddles, might have got confusing, Flubs, standing for Fluffy Murder Potatoes. One crewman was surprisingly resolute on an English pun involving a slang verb merc, and some of my favourite from the crew, Gloam Kits and Murmurs. Well, I'm not surprised it took all night to decide. What with how incongruously indecisive Terrans, and apparently Sahars, can be about trivialities like what the cutest name for the cutest thing is. What about individual names? This, he gestures at the one with the largest eyes and widest mouth, returned to making a bed of his and Toon's laps, post-face cooing, is Chesh. That, he gestures at the only one with fully black fur, nesting into Hasika's stomach on the floor, is Nox. That's Catbus. Gesturing at the largest, squarest one, resting with the end of Hasika's tail. That's Kit, that's Gloam, that's Murmur, that's Nugget. Gesturing at the smallest, only purple, most slightly mischievous looking and roundest ones, respectfully. And that, he gestures at the single albino, is Snowflake. And were 8 all-nighters of Gamot required to decide on those? I say, with a mirthful chitter. No, they just sorta came out and we all agreed on them. Obviously, everyone's Fluffy approved. I reach up to Sam's ear to give him a grateful scritch. He's been assigned as my bodyguard in Triple M while it is a churning mass of chaos, with 6 to 8 kilogram merklets, who don't know their own strength or my weakness, tumbling hither and thither. Every now and then, one of them gets curious and tries to approach me. Sam effortlessly redirects them, and they quickly lose interest and resolve to play with one of the sturdier beings. I look at Hasika, with merklets burying her, coiled into Fluffy's stomach. Her slit-pupilled green eyes are crossed, and her boyfriend is admiring her from the couch. You alright, Hassie? Asked Dwan. Just drinking out the oasis of warm and soft, she says, still apparently stupefied by her condition. Dwan feigns woundedness. You're saying this oasis isn't enough for you? Gesturing at himself. You're warm, they're warmer. You're not soft, you're an oasis I drink out to satisfy other thirsts. She's probably fine if she has the wherewithal to flirt. Dwan, MacLeod, Aaron, Toon, Zumberi, and Taylor all gave mirthful whoops, hollers, and whistles to indicate appreciation for Hasika's brazenness. The noise stirs the 8 fluffy beings to great excitement, causing Sam's bodyguard services to be called on to make sure none of my bones get broken. Once things have calmed down, I ask, how's the weaning looking? Zumberi answers, it looks good. It really didn't take long. They're still suckling, but they've all started sampling some of their mum's food. Fluffy says she feels like it's about halfway done, which puts us nicely on track for our arrival at my homeworld. I guess in the wild, merc beasts must undergo a sequential niche transition as they grow, meaning that they don't need to suckle for too long, which works out nicely for us. And Fluffy? I say, causing that enormous head to raise and turn towards me. You're still at peace with them being given to Terrans as pets? You're at peace with possibly being the progenitor of an entire lineage of domestic merc beasts? You're sure that after Zanzibar Pia, you don't want to keep your translator? I don't know what I'll do if she says she's changed her mind and wants to go back to Oteskia free, that we're so far from it. Peace been. Happy homes with Kinjard's wanting. Proud of all mother been. Words getting in way. Take talk box if needing. Signal having. She returns her head to the floor and closes her eyes again. Why any two creatures would ever choose not to be able to communicate is beyond me, but Taylor and Fluffy are really agreed on the fact that their relationship is better without words. She has agreed to keep the translator until the merklets are transferred to the Deaf World Faunal Taming and Domestication Research Department of the Tasasisi ya ufiniti na teknoloji via Zanzibar Mapua, Zanzibar's old university. What's the signal? I asked Taylor, sensing Fluffy to be in the mood to rest, not converse. She stamps all her forelimbs, that means she has something to say and wants us to put a translator on her, he says. Attention seemingly entirely focused on Chesh, but still able to answer me somehow. A few moments pass, as the only movement in the room is 8 Merklers, and the reactions they get from the Triple M's. Then, turning his eyes to me, Taylor speaks. I'm really not a fan of the shortcut you've plotted, Cap. I want to say again that I think we should stick to the cleared space lanes. Taylor, I say, activating a 3D map projection of the 1,000 cube light years currently around the ship from my holopad. Sticking to the cleared space lanes would take us a month longer, I say, highlighting the circuitous route he wishes us to take. By that time, the Merklers might be starting to reject each other's company. I truly do not wish Deathworld predators to kill one another aboard my ship. It would be a crime to allow that to happen. Saying nothing of the fact that they're Fluffy's babies and extremely adorable, even to me. The shortcut. I zoom in on the narrow point we're currently traversing, where 2 cleared lanes come mere light years from intersecting. Will require an extra stop to degauze, but still puts us being there right on schedule. Still rubbing his hands on Chesh's thoroughly fluffied sides, his attention is now entirely turned on me. It's unnerving to be so focused on, even by a friend. Cap, pirates? Did it occur to you that pirates might be thinking the same thing you did? What a nice little shortcut, perfect place to just hop between lanes, save a long trip round. If it's the perfect place to stray from the lanes, it's the perfect place to set an ambush. With the interstellar haze uncleared, we won't see him until they're right on top of us. I wave my wing dismissively. This is one of those occasions where Deathworld caution runs away with them. Taylor, pirates are exceedingly rare. The GU estimates the galaxy's total population engaged in piratical activities to be only in the tens of thousands currently. We have Terrans to thank for that, of course. Your anti-piracy fleets reduced that number from tens of millions to its current level. We're as likely to see pirates as, I don't know, dragons? Unicorns? And, to be frank, I pity the pirate crew who think they can take a ship with 2 Roughworlders, one of whom is Deathworlder raised, 5 Deathworlder sapiens, and a Merbeast mother aboard. They'd be in for quite the rude awakening. That is, in the last few moments before they were reduced to a stain on the wall. Still unconvinced, he asks, what if they were Terrans, Cap? The question wrongfors me. Terran pirates? The thought is chilling. How had it never occurred to me? I'm about to open my mouth to say something, when the sound of warp falters and fails. There are a few moments of deathly silence. Then the lighting switches to blue, klaxons sound, and the computer pings all the holopads in the room. Computer, report, says Taylor, his holo in his hand before anyone else's. The bright plume has been pulled from warp, CSS. A ship has revealed itself within light minutes of current location, projecting a 97% likelihood of it being a pirate vessel. Please arm and prepare all security personnel and deputies to repel boarding action. Taylor stands, his face harder than iron. He looks around. I'm giving anyone in this room who's sapient and whose cradle is classified above an 8 the option to be armed and deputized. I won't force you for, but if me, Samus and Toon can't handle it, you might end up fighting anyway. Dwan, Asaka, Zumberi and McLeod stand as well. There's not a shadow of doubt that all of them are taking the deputization. Speaking clearly into his comm again, Taylor commands, Computer, this is a security override. I'm temporarily relieving the captain of command, to be returned after the threat is neutralized. Succession order, following me, is Wahinda, Samus Aaron, followed by Toon, Elf, followed by Jenny, Mouse McLeod, followed by Misiga, Mage, Zumberi, followed by Hasaka, followed by Krish, Cookie Dwan, followed by... His voice falters for a barely perceptible moment. Command returning to Captain Twakal. In the event of the deaths of all of the above. Confine all crew to current location. Calculate most likely boarding point and clear a path to it from starboard dorm, deck 5. Security officers and deputies are in the process of arming and readying. Understood, Acting Commander. Rear loading bay projected as most likely board point. May personnel currently in rear loading bay be evacuated? Confirmed. Guide them to nearest relative safety. He turns to Toon and Samus. Go to your rooms, arm yourselves. He turns to the others. You 4 come with me. I'll arm you. The bottom has dropped out of my stomach. I disregarded the first rule of having a Terran on my ship. Listen to the Terran. If they say they have a bad feeling about something, don't do it. Guilt wells up in me as I start. Taylor, I'm sorry, Not looking in my direction, he interrupts. Regrets her for the living, Cap. You can be sorry later. Now is not the time. Guard her, Sam. Keep her safe from the babies and anyone who comes into Triple M. Understand? Sam barks. Understanding. I follow the group, including Taylor, to Taylor's room, and Sam follows me. By the time I catch up, Taylor has already pulled down the cover of his weapon rack and is taking holstered handguns down and handing them to non-security Triple M's. For each one he gives out, he explains the safety and the user ID that keeps anyone from firing it, unless the current user transfers possession. I'm frantic. I'm losing my head. We might die, and if we do, it will be my fault. I'm about to open my mouth before remembering Taylor's words. Be sorry later. I have never wanted to be sorry more in my life. Being sorry means there's a later to be sorry in. Please, let this be one of those nightmares that Terrans tell me about. This isn't real. I can wake up scared, tap my beak against quarks, and then check on Chuck in an incubator. Please. All the Deputy Triple M's armed now. The group makes its way back down the corridor to the balcony door. Just as the door is about to close, sealing me in here until I'm safe or dead, I call out, Victor? He turns. Stay safe. Come back here alive, you hear me? He smiles. That's the plan, Cap. The door closes.